Hi, I'm Frank Fry from publicspace.net. Today I'm going to show you how to reorganize your entire photo collection with just a few clicks. We're going to take photos from two different folders and use my Big Mean Folder Machine app to copy them into a two-level folder hierarchy, first by year, then by month. First we need to download the Big Mean Folder Machine from our website at publicspace.net. You can see the link to the product page here, and once you are on it, you can download the tool from the download pop-up. I have also linked the product page in the description of this video. Once we have launched it, we're presented with our first choice. The Big Mean Folder Machine is a powerful tool that can do all kinds of folder creation and organization jobs. But for this tutorial, we will choose to split files into multiple folders. On the next screen, we will tell the program which folders contain the photos that we want to organize. We press the plus button to add our first source folder. You can see that by default the subfolders checkbox is ticked. This means that the program will look for files in all of the subfolders of the selected folder as well. We can just add a second source folder to demonstrate that you don't need to have all your files in the same folder already. The next screen offers the choice between splitting into hierarchies and splitting into batches. We want to create a two-level folder hierarchy, so we go with hierarchies. Now we can select our first splitting criteria. This is the criteria that determines what the first level of folders in our hierarchy is going to be. As you can see, there's a whole range of options here, covering a wide variety of different scenarios. Note the custom entry, which offers many more options based on file names, file creation modification dates, music metadata, etc. For photos, the photo shooting date is what we are after. This date is embedded in most media files, so it works across a wide range of photo and movie files. We select the 4-digit date. And for the second level, we select the 2-digit month. We have some additional customization options here. The original case, wherever possible, only applies to letters, so it's not relevant here. The other option allows us to determine under which circumstances the second level of folders are actually created. It might, for instance, not make much sense to create a month folder if we only have a handful of photos for that year, and each one would end up in its own folder. For the job at hand, we will leave this setting on Always Create a New Folder. We don't need a third level, so we accept the default once more. The next screen is all about file name conflicts and how they should be resolved. As you might know, every file within a folder has to have a unique name. This makes sense because otherwise you couldn't tell which file is which. Having files with the very same name in different folders, however, is perfectly fine. This screen determines what is going to happen if two or more files with the same name end up in the same folder in our new hierarchy. If two files with the same name can't exist in the same folder, we need to find some way of making them unique. The first pop-up determines how this is done. The first file will have a 1 in brackets added to the end, the second file a 2, etc. There are also a bunch of other options to make your file names unique. The other pop-ups are about how the program decides which file gets the 1, the 2, etc. Since we are working with photos, it makes most sense to use the same shooting date that we are using to organize our hierarchy. So we select by EXIF camera date, and we want to have the oldest photos getting the lowest numbers. We are now almost ready to one-shot reorganize our files. All that's left to do is to tell the program where to put our new folder hierarchy. I highly recommend copying the files rather than moving them. You need more space to do this, and it takes a little longer. But we get a second copy of our files, and our originals are safe in their original folders. You can always delete them later once you are sure that you're happy with the new hierarchy. But there's no undo for these actions, so it pays to be careful. I also recommend previewing the results, just to be sure that you made all the right selections. Clicking on Continue starts the processing. Everything seems to be in order, so let's go and let the program do its job. Back in the Finder, we now see that we have achieved exactly what we were setting out to do. We have year folders for each year, and inside them a folder for each month that we have photos in. You can download the trial version of Big Mean Folder Machine for free, but it is limited to copying at most 100 files. The Big Mean Folder Machine has several companion apps. A Better Finder Rename is a powerful file renaming tool. I have recently posted a tutorial on how to use it to give your photos custom, meaningful names with sequence numbers to help with Finder sorting. And you can find that video on my channel. Better Finder attributes allows you to manipulate file attributes, such as creation and modification dates, file flags, photo metadata, shooting date information, etc. Finally, Nifty File Lists allows you to easily create file lists, including a variety of metadata for bookkeeping or for import into a database or Microsoft Excel. I hope you have enjoyed this video and have found it to be useful. I'd appreciate a like or a subscribe, and it would really help me get my brand new channel off the ground. Thanks for watching.